Hello again. It was a near economic shutdown following Organised Labour's decision to lay their tools across the country. Now, this appeal to threat posture was a resistance to the sale of hotels by the Social Security and National Insurance Trust SSNIT. Now, Organised Labour described the sale as a rip-off and had to resort to a last tool of industrial action to force SSNIT to meet their demands. SSNIT has since yielded to the demands and suspended the deal, but the dust has still not settled, as Organised Labour wants abrogation of any deal to seal or sell off the hotels. On your election brief this afternoon, we focus on the possible political consequences of the actions taken by Organised Labour. First, here is a report capturing the impact of the action taken by Organised Labour.
So we're supposed to have court this morning. So when we came, they told the court to not be sitting due to the strike. So we were asked to go back in.
My lawyer. That's why I came this morning. I didn't see nothing. Court is go on.
What did they tell you?
I don't see anybody there.
There are people who are seeking injunctions, restraining others from doing something. On account of this, they cannot be heard in court. Certain processes in court will have to be enforced on account of the strike. In fact, to put it bluntly, during this time we have practically a state of lawlessness, just because people would continue to do whatever ordinarily the law, and when I say the law, I mean the courts, would have restrained them.
Operation, me problem. And I treat me a fena say, me home sisi me home so kakra. And no mama makoya laba. Me di aba ebe nanka doctor ashe results na wo die enro obetrama me na makonom. Nse se me kofi minim de ebe me my worried pa na meti ha.
Sisi a wo ka say why you worried e then na obeka doctor say more striking.
Yes, one say, Omunti patients, Yesufre, no measure, na bansu or mobo, na do muhia, no munya mawon, na yes, so you won't toy.
Again, as a citizen, as a mother, as somebody who's concerned about our development, I think we could find different ways to get a result. I would want people to get services today whilst people negotiate. And if you have grievances about who owns whatever, there should be other systems in place to pursue. I don't think the downing of the tools is the thing. And that's another question I've always asked. When we down tools in this country, do we lose pay? Or we down tools and still get paid that day? Because I'm very keen to know, I would like somebody who knows to tell me, when you down your tools and you go on strike, do you still draw your salary? Because if the salary is drawn when you down your tools, then you would down your tools slightly differently from in places where you lose your day's wage when you down your tools. I have never really gone on a lot of the strike actions in places where I was because I was not willing to lose a day's pay. So we have many national issues to discuss around this. And I'm glad you brought this. When you find the answer to these things, would you let me know, please?
We are giving SSNIT 1 month to address all issues relating to our pensions. And let's state this, that this animal farm style of governance must give way to scientific thinking. Thank you.
Well, this is now the right time to bring in political scientist Dr. Kwame Asante into this conversation. Dr. Asante, good to have you on the show. What do you make of the action, first of all, taken by Labour?
Because if there are issues that are of concern to Labour, obviously they will express it this way. Remember that you are dealing with what? Interest group. And the basic aim of every interest group is to influence government policy and fight for the interests of its members. So that's exactly what you are experiencing. TUC and all labor unions belong to the group we call the interest group, if you like, pressure group.
Right.
They always influence government policy and then fight for the interests of their members.
Well, a lot of concerns have arisen amidst of this. People are saying that, so if they have this much power, why have they not intervened in matters of national interest? For example, like when the implementation of e-levy generated a lot of controversies, a lot of people are saying that they could have intervened, sort of.
They do intervene in matters of national interest. If you look at any time there is an issue that is generating public interest, they quickly come in and talk about it. Issue about the economy and how it's faring, issue about welfare of workers and all that. Yeah, sometimes they come in, but let us get the basis right. TUC or organized labor is part of interest group. An interest group, their basic aim is to what? Fight for the interests of their members and also influence government policy, right? So if we look at these canons that are, talked about, obviously, they are not doing something different from this. So you will see that anything that goes against their interests, they will quickly come out and then speak. And remember, they are a force to reckon with, giving their structure, membership, and leadership concern. Any time that they want to use any of their means of operation, that is, if they want to resort to even the use of public opinion tools, such as lockouts, such as demonstrations, strikes, then you realize that holders of political power are shaking. And that is exactly what we are experiencing.
Fascinating. Now, how does this signal or perception of dissatisfaction from labor play in the political space?
It is incumbent upon government to address it head on. Failure of which government won't care the wrath of labor unions, the more. Now, you will not have much impact. But if it drags and government, all the calls that they are making fall on deaf ears, I'm afraid it will have serious implications on voter choices relative to what? Unions. Because a hungry man is always an angry man.
That brings me to my next question. So will this affect the fortunes of the ruling New Patriotic Party, especially looking at the fact that we have barely 5 months to the next general elections?
From where I sit, it is not in anything. It's not anything beneficial that will accrue to or anything that will improve their fortunes. Let me put it this way. Government should shy away from things that will push people to the street or make people resort to what? Strike and demonstration, especially from the labor front. You don't want to experience that, because the more you do that, the more pressure you bring to bear on the political system, and the more that such message, go to affect voter choices and voter preferences. So government should be able to address this once and for all, and then prevent others from happening. That means that government must do the needful by addressing the concerns of labor groups and associations within the political sphere. If they don't do that, I'm afraid they will experience the other side of labor, which will undermine their political fortunes.
Okay. You said that government should, address their concerns. What do you think government is supposed to do? For example, if they are to meet labor today about the abrogated sale of SSNIT hotels, what should government tell them?
The government knows the issues very well, so they are also very much alive to the concerns of the union. Dialogue should prevail, give and take, and at the end of the day, that crossroad that they will reach, that is a point of consensus. Right. That is how we handle these issues. But when there are intransigent positions where calls from various quarters fall on deaf ears and government want to flex its muscle, though weak in this regard, obviously, they will incur the wrath of labor. And that will not support the cause of government at all. And from now up to elections and beyond, there must be the need for government to look at these issues and then have a serious conversation and deal with them head on, than that knee-jerk approach, and that approach that doesn't bring anything good to the conversation.
Right.
I will advise government to shy away from that.
Right. Finally, before I let you go, do you think this will play to the advantage of the opposition NDC?
Oh, obviously, in political calculation, once you stumble, opposition will pick bits and pieces together and then churn them out to voters. Obviously, it will get 1 or 2 voters out. Remember, it's a game of numbers, and giving the electoral system, that is the way we elect our leaders in this country, the kind of system we use, that once you get whoever gets even 1 vote, you are home and dry. You don't want to lose a vote. A vote is as much important as what? Millions of votes.
Right.
You need one to be able to cross the finish line. So it's critical.
Dr. Kwame Asasante, grateful for your time this afternoon.